You ever look in the flat earth?
Okay, this part of the film was taken on uh, November 7th, 2018. It was a beautiful night. Really had great visibility north of where the sun departed our view. And I had to speed a lot of this up so I could make this video a little bit shorter. So here's the boat that I catch. So I started following them. And, one of the things that I always talk about is things do get compressed. They also do get blocked out by the closer resolvable waves. I call that the last resolvable wave as I'm filming. A lot of times I can see them, other times I can't because of the light diffraction. But here's the cell phone footage so I could show about how far off the water I was. On this evening, I was a little bit higher than the next evening that I show, and I'll show you right here. But here's the boat passing this other boat, this big pontoon boat out there. And here's my camera. I got it set at 28 inches. Yes, I'm up on the seawall, and you can see that the seawall eats up part of it. Down to the very bottom by the rocks right there, it's about 3 feet. So I'm figuring about 4 feet up, and then the 28 inches minus about 8 inches for that wall. But you can obviously see right there is the Bayport bird rack. If anybody's been following my videos, if not, you should check into them and then pay attention to the details, where these certain bird racks are. Yes, I know I have misidentified one in the past, but we caught up to that, took care of it, and positively identified the other ones. And here's that same footage that I was showing on the cell phone, so you can tell that I'm not, changing up video on you or anything. Now, one of the things I noticed is sometimes you can see that light diffraction coming off the water, and you can actually even see where the waves are just barely blocking things out. But here later on, I'll show you that waves do block out, or the waves that are closer to you will block out farther objects, depending on how big that wave is. Plus, too, you can see this light diffraction coming off the water. It's light propagating up, which also adds to this mirroring effect. As I think is what's occurring is the atmosphere is getting lit up, and then you have your angular resolution going across it, causing that illuminated atmosphere to become a mirror. It actually becomes a mirror, and it actually causes a ramping up effect, which here later on I'll show you here. It's coming up quick. A lot of this footage, I got it on 4 times speed. So I hate these pop-ups when I'm doing a video, because then you hear that the bing, bing, bing. But here you can actually start seeing, if I had to slow this down, you can actually start seeing some people moving around in the back of the boat. Those are people working back there, probably getting the crab traps or cleaning up the boat. But you can see them back there. And if you slow down the video, you will. I got it sped up like 4 times the speed. But what's really weird about this boat is obviously he was a lot smaller when I first started tracking him. He comes into perfect view. I can see the whole boat in the water, um, and I can actually see the guys in the back of the boat working. Okay, and then what's going to happen is he's going to get to a certain point here, and then here's Billy Steele's rack. So, I started at Bayport, went by Billy Steele's here. And where the magic starts happening is right around the Hernando uh, Beach rack, the one that I misidentified as Billy Steele's, and then we had Cutter's Rock wrong. But hey, it was an honest mistake. Did not do it intentionally. If I'd have known it, I'd have been out there looking for Cutter's Rock, or actually back. I already had it, and I showed that I had it. And here I had it all along, and just misidentified it. So I wouldn't have done it if I knew I had uh, that film there. I definitely, it was an honest mistake. Again, here, I zoom back, give you a little range, a little different view, and I'm going to scoot over here to. Uh, oh, okay, this is the part I slowed way down right here. If you notice, just above that bird, you see that refraction line. I call it reflection line, or the mirroring line begins right there. And then here you've got uh, the Hernando Beach rack, and you can actually see it's mirroring now. Earlier in the day, it was not mirroring. I could actually see it perfectly in the water, but now you get this mirror line. And here, as soon as I stable out the camera here, I'll mark a line on it, or an arrow here, and show you. I mean, it's obvious right now that you can see this double reflection in there. As above, so below. Um, think about that too, people. As above, so below. This mirroring effect is occurring above and below. But what I mean by above, it's more or less up in the stars. Think about that. Just something to think about, people. And then I'm going to scoot back over here. Now this was slowed down to regular speed again, but I'm going to slide back over here and show you where this mirroring line starts right here. Watch this duck. He's right in front of it, and you see that it's like a haze on top of the water, but that's actually the mirroring line starting. And I noticed this in some of my other film. You um, start paying attention to a lot of the detail in it, and you start noticing these things, and you start putting two and two together, and you start noticing that beyond, once this boat gets into that mirroring zone, it's almost as if it's getting loomed or magnified and pulled towards you. But in the process of it getting pulled towards you, it gets pulled down. And this is really weird, but it's pretty obvious in this footage. As soon as I stabilized my camera again, I had it really tight, the adjustments on it. So every time I try to, get it in a, make a tiny little adjustment on it, make a big adjustment. But I like to keep it that way, especially if it's breezy. But you'll notice here when I catch back up to that boat I was following. Come on, Dave, catch up to him. Here he is. And there's look how wide that got in just that short period of time. That gap in between there, it widened out, and look how much his boat just sank into that mirroring effect. That's what's really weird, folks. This thing will sink into that mirroring effect. It pulls things down, not up. Refraction, yes, light reflects upward. It refracts up, but that's where this mirroring comes in. If you ever go into a fun house again, you'll notice you can go in front of one of the mirrors and make you short and squatty. Go in front of another one and make you tall and skinny. This is kind of the effect that we're getting out there. It's an effect. And there's no way I'm saying that Earth is concave or convex. I'm saying that this is just a mirroring effect that occurs over the water, and it's an optical effect that can actually deceive your eyes, which this is obviously deceiving our eyes because this boat looks like it's getting cut off when you just watch me follow it and it comes into plain view, and then all of a sudden here it hits this mirror line or this mirror zone, and it gets sucked down into it. Even the guys in the back of the boat, you can see them moving around back there. They're actually even being mirrored themselves. Right here, you can see them being mirrored underneath themselves. When earlier it was obvious I had the whole boat. So this mirroring effect does pull things down. This is perfect proof for it. Even this boat right here. Here I slowed this part down as I zoom in. Look at this bird flapping its wings off to the right there. That's the only reason I slowed that down for was for the bird. And you can see how this mirror line is just, it's like coming right down the top of the water all the way southward. Because I was pointed more toward the west, and now as I'm turning my camera, I'm going south. Um, and here's another boat coming up out of that mirroring, and look at how badly it's mirrored. I mean, it's actually pulled it right down in. The islands, Hernando Beach Islands too, are getting pulled in. Obviously, this other boat's getting pulled in. Um, and this is what happens. It just vanishes into its own reflection. And this is what I say what happens with the sun at times. And at other times when there's very little um, mirroring effect, the sun actually just gets compressed, and it compresses and compresses, and then it gets distorted, and then it just vanishes. It just goes to the point of to the vanishing point. The same way here, if this boat was to continue on, it would just vanish into its own reflection, and you wouldn't see it no more. But the boat is actually, uh, being hidden. It's not getting. This boat's not being pulled up by any type of refraction. It's all about this mirroring effect occurring. It's all optical. It's optical, people. And here, I'm just kind of, here's Fiddler's Point or that corner. And again, I do these observations really. I put them out for other people to get inspired to do their own videos and not get oh, stupid phone, um, and not get discouraged by the trolls that are going to troll you for making videos. Um, yeah, we know what kind of phone call that is. That's some stupid uh, phone service or whatever trying to sell you something. All right, here's the second part. And this part was taken on um, July 20 or November 23rd, 11/23, 2018. And yes, I'm speeding this one up. Obviously, you can see this boat quite a ways out there. He's coming up more from the south than he is from the west. And if you watch carefully, you will start seeing, especially when I slow it down, you'll start seeing its wake being pushed out. A little more light in this one. This was before the sun departed our view. So one was after the sun. This one's before the sun. So a little more light shining on the boat, which should have produced more upward refraction, if they want to call it that. But it's not. It's just allowing me to see the boat better, and it's a little more visible for me to see. Right here's, look at that wake block out that boat from way back there. That boat was further back. The bigger boat's wake totally blocked it out. Real interesting. And then here's the cell phone footage of where I'm located. Notice that I'm pretty much in the same area. Not exactly in the same spot. I think this time I'm in the corner. But look down at the water, and you'll see that the water is actually higher. So I'm actually lower to the water in this video than I was in the last video. And again, you can see this boat cruising along here. I don't know what to say, people. You know, I put out this evidence, and it goes unnoticed. And to me, it's kind of a waste for other people to waste it. But for me, it's really proved to me what I'm seeing out there, because I do study these. I've been reviewing them, and here we go again. I'm going to bring this thing right up close into the channel going into Hernando Beach, just like the last boat. And you'll notice how visible this gets. I mean, it gets really visible to where you can easily see this boat. And, you know, that's what you got to look for, is those small details, where the water line is compared to where the bird racks are. Like I say, a lot of times I think a lot of the stuff is being pulled down slightly enough to keep you from seeing that real visible water that's beyond this boat, that's just all mirrored out. It's the haze that gets illuminated, that just gets mirrored. It's mirroring the hazed out illuminated air. Okay, that's about as honest as I can get as far as that background goes. And you notice there went the Hernando Beach bird rack. Yeah, I got this one on real quick. +2, I'm zooming back and forth a little bit. And then here we go. I got this one sped up just a little bit more too. And I'm going to keep it sped up. Again, you know, I want to just kind of get people to, you know, pay attention to that smaller, finer detail. All right, right here you can actually start seeing the wake of the boat. And look how the wake of the boat blocks out the back end of the boat. And that's one thing with the first boat, you could not see the boat's wake. Why is that? Because it's in the mirror zone. The wake's getting mirrored or becoming a mirror just like the rest of the water, and you don't see the wake from that boat. Where this boat is obvious because of the clarity and the better visibility. And that's always one of the things that I'm always talking about, is the better visibility you got, the less distortion you get. The less distortion you get, just the better detail you get altogether. Here too, check out this boat. I mean, he's coming right. He's coming toward me, in a sense. But he's coming at me. And then there's going to be another little boat here too, that I zoom in on. I thought I'd throw this in the video, only because I go back to this big boat here shortly. But check out the size of these little boats, and how far away they are. They're not even in the Hernando Beach channel. They're beyond the Hernando Beach channel. And how do I know this? Because I've studied this area and I've done a lot of videos and a lot of videos. And you see that big boat right there? He's in the channel. And look at how his wake just blocked out that little boat completely. And look at that little boat. You can see its wake that it's flashing up. You can actually see its wake. So if you're seeing its wake, you're seeing that boat in the water. He's not being refracted up. He's not being pulled up. Listen, if you cannot see around a corner, you cannot see around a curve. Plain and simple. So next time a Groby says to you that it's refraction, pulling it up, this magical force of refraction, ask them why it doesn't work around corners. Ask them why can't light get refracted around the corner so we can see somebody ready to jump out and mug us, huh? Huh? Try that one on for size. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Globy. Oh, I was hoping that boat wouldn't have moved. I was hoping to see if that boat went in between the channel markers or not. I don't believe it did. I think it went on the back side. Here again, I'm going to, I think, catch up to that boat and give you one more view of them. Yeah, one more view of them going by. kind of a blurry one because I'm wiggling the shit out of the camera. Damn you. Um, and then, I'm going to come up here to the islands for Hernando Beach. And this was a good bit of footage right here because you can see, I mean, even the little small fine rocks that are sticking up there. You can see the little islands that are that poke up out there that are just rocks, which is awesome, actually. Awesome. Um, you, you see these areas where it's pretty much flat. Well, that's where it's not very high at all. And as I'm going down through here, it's getting further and further away. There's another boat, obviously, in the water, in the channel, the Hernando Beach channel. And look at the clarity on this. And I mean, you can see everything, and if you've ever, well, I'd like to take one of these globe people over here and show them this island, and then show them my footage where I'm videotaping this at 15 inches off the water, because I got footage of being 15 inches off the water and catch these islands, and they're pretty nice looking. Yeah, there's distortion, but it's still pretty nice. All right, folks, appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to call this the end. I spent enough time on it. It's long enough. All right, thanks a lot. Have a good day.